Your digital footprint is much bigger than you think. Today, I'm going to talk with you about your online privacy, OSINT privacy, everything you need to know, and I'll show you in practice some important things you need to know, how hackers can attack you, how they can find information about you just using some of the most basic information you could think about, and what you should possibly do. Let's get started. Before we get into some kind of practice where I show you other stuff, remember that every phone, number, photo, email, username you share online, everything is always going to be there. Once it's online, it's never deleted. It doesn't matter if you delete it. If you just delete something on a website, doesn't mean websites actually deleted. They are not like they could just keep stuff in their database that is for deleted stuff, and it could possibly not be visible. But there is a thing such as Internet Archive, which keeps snapshots of everything. Anybody could like screenshot anything you post at any point, and even if you delete it, doesn't matter, they'll have the result of what you have already. So everything can be compromised. Remember that, it's very, very important. Make sure you know what you post, including some of the most basic information. Now let's continue. Let's look at what else we have here. So a phone number, the most like the basic thing that pretty much all of us have, I assume, right? Phone number, it could be a master key. Imagine, think of it like this, right? A phone number is just far more than like a contact detail. It can be a lot more. Just remember the basic thing, right? When you go to get your phone number from your phone carrier, whatever you use, you most likely use your ID or passport, right? You give some kind of identification to the provider. So it's not anonymous. Obviously, there are ways to get anonymous phone numbers, but it's not about that. Most people don't have that. So just by using your phone number, it can give access to a lot of things. For example, you may use your phone number outside of calls just for simple username. You may choose to log in somewhere with it. You may use SMS from that phone number for two-factor authentication, right? Finding social media, messaging accounts, maybe finding your social media through your phone number. If someone adds you to their contact, then they can search on the social media based on contacts, and then the phone number is associated. There you go, they found your account. Like pretty simple stuff. Anybody can do it. You don't need any hacking skills for that. They can access leaked database records using your phone number as well. That's a lot of very common thing that hackers can do as well. Pulling personal information from public records and building profiles for social engineering. That's very, very common. You can actually test your phone number if you want as well. It's not very difficult. I can show you just one tool that I like to use. As an example, if you go to CyberYozh.com, we have a service called phone number checker, in which you can just put the phone number, right? Whatever the country, doesn't matter the code, and you will get the rating. For example, phone number, the fraud score. So, you know, if you get a call from an unknown phone number, you may want to check it from here to see what's happening. It could be used for good stuff, of course, right? The activity, does it have voice over IP or not? Validity of the number, the country, the associated emails, local format, again, region, city, time zone, zip code, prepaid number, all of it. A lot of stuff can be done just by using your phone number. You can test this on your own phone number if you want to see what kind of history your phone number has. This is very common thing you can do. So please keep in mind that it's super simple to do. You don't need any special skills for this, right? Anybody could open cyberyozh.com, go to the checker's phone and test a phone number. It's very basic stuff, and this is just one thing that attackers may do against you, right? Pretty simple stuff. Next, let's continue. After the phone number, which is, as I told you, master key, your photos will reveal a lot more than you see. So this is about photos, right? Everyone usually likes to have social media, at least one of them, right? Let's say, as an example, I'll take Instagram. And what they'll do is they make an Instagram post. But what they don't realize is that in Instagram post, very often people may take selfies, may take photos of them in vacation or in certain locations, and people just willingly give location. You tag yourself. People just go and they tag themselves saying, I am currently in this cafe, in this restaurant, enjoying places. And if you are in attacker's radar, they know a lot from you just by your social media. You make the job of hackers very easy just by posting everything about yourself already. You yourself willingly put your life online. That's why all of this stuff can happen to you, right? That's why you should be very careful. Again, don't use stuff like this. If someone finds your phone number and it's not properly, for example, Google properly hides metadata, right? But if you use a service that doesn't hide metadata and they can just download your photo, they can, from metadata, get GPS coordinates. The EXIF data can see your and it can pinpoint your home location even at that point, right? It can pinpoint the device that was used to take the photo with, which can be useful as well if it's an iPhone or an Android, so they know what they can attack, as an example. And a lot of people can just do reverse image searching. If you type your As an example, I'll show you if you go to Google Photos or any other service, like it doesn't actually matter what service you use. You can type here reverse image search, and yeah, pretty much that's it. There are services like TinEye or Google Images, obviously, right? There is Yandex that also works pretty well. There is the Microsoft one, Bing, right? That works pretty well. Let's just click on Google Images, for example. Just putting the image here and just searching the image. So if they search your image, specifically your face, they may find other photos of you in other social media, find out what you do, what you are, and more about your life, which is very, very common technique. So just remember, don't post a lot of stuff about yourself, because now that they know your phone number, they know your location, they know what you do because you post everything online. There you go. That's what happens. And the privacy OSINT is already pretty much gone right at that point. Next, let's see. Remember also about one thing about photos. Before posting, if you can, strip it completely from metadata. Trust me, it can be a hassle, but it's much safer. You can just build your own tool or use existing tools, strip metadata, and then post it. At least that way it's safer if you really have to post stuff, right? Now, email is a digital fingerprint, right? Is dangerous. Email addresses serve as like unique identifiers across hundreds of services. You often can link your phone number to the email number. That's why when you link phone to email, they can be associated and you can find one through the other. If you know email, you can find phone and vice versa. So you can use your email for pretty much everything, right? Just talking, job interviews, like everything. Pretty much everyone uses email, right? And what do hackers like? They like to know your email because they can put that email in their list of millions of emails and send phishing links, phishing campaigns. Just see who will bite the bullet and who will get phished. And you may be one of those people unwillingly. Even if you think you're very educated and you won't get phished, trust me, it happens to the best of us. So it happens to professional pen testers too. There are a lot of stories about it. So that's not the point, right? So just protect your email properly. Use 2FA. Don't use the 2FA from SMS. Don't use stuff like that. That's pretty basic stuff that you should know and care about, right? And you need to protect yourself using that. So please be careful. If you use an email, have at least secondary email, which is not like you can use it for like signing up to a random website that you don't really care about. Because at least if those websites get hacked and leaked, your main email won't be hacked, right? Protect it. Be very important. I'm not saying don't share your email. Of course do. But have two-factor authentication. Don't associate a lot of information with it. That's very, very important and crucial to do. Next, a username. If someone knows one of your usernames, it can open many, many doors. Just by knowing your username, as an example, you may play some online games, right? Or you may put your username in Upwork as not obviously your real name. Or maybe you're a bug bounty hunter and you put your username there. And very often what people like to do is they like to create characters. They like to create their own online personalities. A lot of people prefer to use one username for every account they have, not their real name, but username, which makes them think they may be anonymous and no one will find them, right? But using something as basic as Sherlock, I can show you. If you just go to like Linux here and you'll type Sherlock, right? You can do Sherlock and you can type like my username that I use, right, which is Network David. If I do this, you can see it will go through checking username on all websites and it will just do the most basic thing possible. It will go through a lot of websites and try to see. So if you know, for example, based on, let's say it's not my Steam username, but for example, my Steam username was Network David, right? And you've played the game with me, you don't like me. You can look up my username on using Sherlock and you can find, okay, so this guy has GitHub. Okay, let's click on this guy GitHub. Let's see what it has, right? Let me show you how much this can go, how deep this can lead you, right? You click on this guy's GitHub. Okay, cool. So you found this person. Not only you found this person, you found their X or X Twitter, right? You found their LinkedIn, email, because they post all of that online. They pretty much tell you what they do, right? So obviously I set all of this up for this kind of videos, but still, as an example, a lot of people like to do this, right? The personal README. And now that you know the username, you also know this guy you played with. It also maybe is somehow connected with IT because they use GitHub and they have GitLab, right? They know some programming languages. Okay, not bad. And you know their email as well. So there you go. That's their attack vector already as a hacker. So you can see how easy that was, right? Then it doesn't take any skill to do something like this. And obviously there are a lot of different websites that this can look up. So keep that in mind. Your username is everything. If you really want to be anonymous and protect your privacy, I would highly advise you not to try to be fancy and just use different username for each service. Don't even think about something cool. Just make the most random thing you can possibly imagine, right? Some letters, numbers, and it does have to look like password, but I don't know, some I love birds 123. Like, who is that, right? I don't know. Maybe there is a guy watching this who is I love birds 123. But that's an example. Something that doesn't really connect to you personally. That's another thing to remember. Now, there are a lot of fake online stores that you have to keep in mind, which also can spy on your privacy. What I mean, some of the stores are usually too good to be true. I'm not going to name any specific stores because most of the ones that I have problem with are actually legitimate. But fake stores, they can mimic legitimate brands to steal payment data. If you go to this fake store and you enter your payment data, boom, there you go. Your account is gone, your bank account is compromised, and from there we get back to the whole circle of username, email, and phone number can also be just completely gone and compromised. And now you have to go pretty much change everything, and that may take a lot of time, sometimes even weeks, right? So be careful, please check URLs, check everything. Don't go into any shady website. If it's too good to be true, it's probably not true. That's kind of how it works, right? Nothing is free. Phishing works because it feels personal. Now that someone, let's imagine the worst case scenario, someone compromised you, they have your email and phone number, they can, and they pretty much did everything. Let's say I'll use me as an example. So you can say you found someone who has some kind of connection with IT, maybe developer, maybe cybersecurity, doesn't matter, right? And they have a Steam account, which means maybe they play some online video games. You found they also have a music like Spotify account, so they listen. You can find out what kind of stuff they listen to, and you can make a very personalized phishing email, which will not look like just generic spam. Because generic spam, if you are smart, you can just kind of copy paste half of the email and just like put it on Google and see what it returns. Or a lot of the times you will see forums of people saying, I got this kind of email with the exact text that you see. And in this case, you can be like, okay, so that's just a mass phishing email, ignore. But it's personalized for you. For example, someone sends you your address where you live, and it can be an old address from old compromised stuff. They may send you your password and you may freak out, but that password could be your old password that was compromised years ago. That's why you should constantly be changing your password, right? That happens actually very often. They send you your password and you freak out. In reality, they just gathered it using some tricks from old hacks, right? That were already leaked databases, had leaked databases. So once phishing becomes personalized using all the stuff that they know about you, that's when you're in danger. So even in that case, no matter what happens, please don't fall for any of this. Double check, triple check, quad check, check so many times to make sure it's not actually phishing email. If there is a link, don't click on the link. Open tab manually and type the URL there. Don't click on that link. Trust me, it's never good. If you get a link from LinkedIn, doesn't mean you click on it. You go to a new tab and you type linkedin.com and you open and see what's in your feed if you need to check that. Or if it says change your password and shows you the link, no. Again, go to the new tab, manually change password. Don't click on that link. It's very important. Even if it's not phishing, it's good practice. Trust me, you'll need it. That's another thing, right? And the OSINT thread change, you can see how it works, right? By all of this, what I mentioned, the attack vectors rarely work on isolation. There is usually, it doesn't work like that. One leads to the another. It's a chain. It's a whole collection, right? By just connecting your accounts together. Hackers can craft personalized phishing emails for you. They can collect your data. They can compromise your account by using all that personalized stuff. And because of the AI as well right now, a lot of these hackers can just use AI to generate scripts to automate a lot of the stuff. So it can be even more dangerous right now. So if it looks personalized, doesn't mean that hacker actually spent days on you to just try to gather information on you. Building automation scripts, even for the script kiddies who didn't know how to program, now it's actually much easier. So again, please keep that in mind. And emails look very good because even if they are not from English-speaking country, AI writes in perfect English, and obviously it looks professional. And your privacy action has to be a plan. Remember always to audit your phone number, remove it from public profiles, don't associate it with anything, keep it to yourself. Your photos when you post, strip the metadata, EXIF metadata, remove backgrounds, make sure there is no such thing that someone can look at the background and know your exact location. It's not a good thing. Even if you want to post it, trust me, it's eventually it might backfire and you'll regret doing that, right? Segmenting your emails. Use separate addresses for finance, social, and shopping, for everything. Don't use, just as I said, right? Have to like be like me. Like I have 4 email addresses, right? One is my main for pretty much every main business things I do. The rest are just for random websites, for shopping. Like for example, for all the shopping websites, I have one email that I use that just all for there, right? For again, for socials, I have another one, etc. And rotate your username. So I said, don't use the same username even if you think it looks cool. And another thing that you should know, that's not mentioned here, is to obviously change your passwords. Some people say every 2 weeks, every month. I feel like at least every 6 months at least. I would say 3 is better, but if you can just every 6 months to change your password. And if you're like me, you may forget all of them, and that's okay. I usually just reset my passwords very often, so I don't even need to change them that much. That's fine. Again, remember that. And the key takeaways for you here are, remember, every piece of personal data you share online can be collected, connected, and weaponized, and most importantly, probably is impossible to remove. So the goal isn't to disappear. You can't. It's too late at this point. If you're watching this video, you can't disappear. But you can make yourself a very difficult target to the point where hackers can be like, yeah, I don't care enough. I'll just move to someone easier. Just make yourself a difficult target to the point where they don't, it's not worth the effort to try and actually hack you and phish you and social engineering. So please be careful online. Make sure your privacy is important. It's super important. I'm tired of saying this, but I will keep saying this until the end of time. Keep your privacy to yourself. Make sure you have good OSINT skills so you know what hackers can do to you. And that would be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.